So I just played a little country and bluegrass guitar solo right there in the key of G. And near the end of that solo, you heard me play a guitar lick that sounded something like this. So that lick right there is what I'm going to teach you in this guitar lesson. And this is a guitar lick that you'll want to play when you're in the key of G and when the rhythm guitar is playing the D major chord moving into the G major chord. And I'll explain how this works in 1 minute, but let's go ahead and learn the lick right now. Pull up tablature on the screen and break it down for you. And after that, I'll show you some fun ways to use this guitar lick. And near the end of this lesson, we're also going to work through that guitar solo that you heard me play at the beginning of this video, just so you can have a little solo to use to practice this lick. So anyways, let's get started here and let's learn how to play this country and bluegrass guitar lick. So this lick is 4 measures long in total. And you're going to play this lick over 2 measures of D chord and then 2 measures of G chord. You can see the chords written in right above the tablature. So let me play through this line of tablature nice and slow for you a couple times. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Okay, let's break down that first measure over the D chord. First measure sounds like this. And if we count that out, it'll go 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and we got a hammer on there, the very beginning of it, from the pointer finger to the middle finger. And right after that, we got a pull off from the pointer to the open string. Pay close attention to the pick stroke direction symbols right above the tablature for this measure. The timing of this measure is a little bit tricky. Pause the video if you want to work on measure 1. When you're ready, let's add on measure 2 here over the D chord. Sounds like this. It's all eighth notes in the second measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we got a slide right there using the ring finger. Slide up. The hammer on. pointer finger to the middle. So now let's play measures 1 and 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is half of the lick right there, and that's a lick that you can play over 2 measures of D chord. So we're using this lick to go from the D chord to the G chord, but you can also play this lick, that 2 measure section we just learned, to go from the D chord to the C chord as well. So just know that that little 2 measure section is very useful when you're creating solos for country and bluegrass. All right, so let's learn measures 3 and 4 on the screen. Sounds like this. Measures 3 and 4, it's a pretty standard G lick right there. Let's learn measure 3 first. It's all 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. When you're ready, we'll just add on the 4th measure. And basically in the 4th measure, we're switching to playing rhythm in a way. We just got the G chord held with the left hand, the fretting hand, and you just do pick, strum, 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 strum. Pick, down, down, up, down, up. So if we play the 3rd and the 4th measures together. So that's how you play the lick that we got here today. Let's go ahead and play this entire line one more time. Practice with me if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's get some practice using this lick. We're going to work through that guitar solo you heard me play at the beginning of this video. And that guitar solo is played over this chord progression right here. So this is what the rhythm guitar is going to be playing. G, G, C, C, D, D, and while the rhythm guitar is playing that, this is what you're going to play as a little guitar solo. Let's check out the first line of the tablature for this practice guitar solo. And this first line, this is the only part that we don't know yet. And it's actually pretty basic. The first two measures, we're playing a stock G lick over the G major chord. And then measures 3 and 4 on the screen will be the same type of lick, but over a C major chord. Let's break that down real quick. The very first measure, very standard G lick. Just like that. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then the second measure, it's all downstrokes, all quarter notes there. I use my middle finger to fret those notes on the second fret. That's the first two measures. And whenever you're ready, let's check out the third and the fourth measures. The same type of lick over the C chord. That third measure right there, you pretty much already know how to play that. The first note this time will be on the 5th string, 3rd fret. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then in the 4th measure, when we have those 4 down picks, the only difference here is that first note, the first down pick, you got your pointer finger held on the 1st fret, 2nd string right there. And it's just pick, 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 pick. And that is it. So when we combine everything in this line, it'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we got the first line down of this guitar solo. Now here's the fun part. We'll just pull up the second line of the tablature, and this second line of the solo is exactly what we learned earlier. That's that lick over the D chord into the G chord. So you get a chance to use that lick. Let's go back to the beginning of this solo right here, and I'm going to play through it one time, a little bit slower. Practice with me, or you can just take a good listen, get a better feel for it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now let me play through the rhythm guitar chord progression a few times so you can practice the solo while I'm playing the rhythm part. hope you all enjoyed this lesson. Yeah, this is one of my favorite guitar licks to play when I'm going from a D chord to the G chord. And this happens all the time in country and bluegrass when you're in the key of G. A lot of times you'll see that 2-measure grouping of the D chord and 2-measure grouping of the G chord, right at the end of a chord progression. So you can play this lick to wrap up a guitar solo or at the end of a progression, kind of as a fill riff type of thing. So if you have any questions on this, you can drop those in the comment box below this video. But thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next lesson here at countryguitaronline.com.